Hey y'all, welcome back to Miss Raga's Art Room. Okay, we're at our final project. This is it. We're going to be doing our still life project. I would be remiss. I know we're working virtually. We're doing the best we can. But still life is still one of those important units that I need to cover with you. So what I want to kind of do is take all that really good draw along practice we've been doing and kind of put it all together. But there's going to be a lot of fun creative freedom in this one. So for part one video, here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually assemble our background. That's right. I said it. Assemble our background. We're not going to draw it. Okay. I actually want to kind of combine like collage and some drawing work into one big, super awesome still life, right? We can do some drawing, we can practice our composition skills, and we can have a lot of our own kind of individual style and taste to this. So what you're gonna need, some glue dots, if you've only got glue sticks, my goodness, you could even potentially tape this together if you had to, right, and photograph it for me. So lots of different ways you can assemble, but if you got glue, and just a pair of scissors. So let's start with like the simplest background. You're gonna need something that'll represent your wall and something that can be your tabletop. Here's just a sheet of computer paper I had and the back side of a box of cake mix, right? And what I've done is I've just cut the back of my cake mix box down so that it can represent my tabletop. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of glue. Boom. Put it down. This is the fun part, right? Smear with your finger. And I have made my super awesome tabletop here, right? Very simply, 2 minutes background, okay? But I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, I don't know, that's boring. Can't we do more? Well, sure, right? You could start with a really simple background and build lots of cool stuff into it, or you can make your background more complex. So this is when some of those fun extra art activities kind of come into play. So I made a bubble paper sheet, right? If you think back to, I think it was March, April, when I uploaded all those fun extra art activities, some food coloring. I put a little shimmer dust in there. I had some cake mix shimmer dust and I put it into one of the yellows. And so it got a little like shimmer effect to it. And then I took an old envelope from my husband's birthday card out of the trash. There we go. And I realized the envelope wasn't going to fully fit to make a table bottom, but I really liked the colors. And so I cut it up into a bunch of different pieces. And what I can do here is I don't know, yeah, let's start with the yellow side up. I'm going to assemble kind of a little bit of a funkier tabletop here. Okay, so let's do maybe like a yellow there and maybe an orange red. I could make it all one color, but like let's mix it up a little. And then I'm going to show you a couple other ones I experimented with. Sticky fingers don't bother me with glue, but like if it does, I totally get it. Just use a Q-tip or use a piece of paper towel, some other scrap paper or whatnot to smudge your glue around. Okay, making our little extra tabletop here. Actually, maybe I'll take one of like these. I'll kind of keep it alternating. Something like that, yeah. Just piecing it together. Just kind of doing what feels right. Now, I'm a big fan of like diving into that recycle bin and finding different scrap papers that work, right? Like if you do not have computer paper at home that's blank, regular old lined paper, graph paper, take a paper bag from the grocery store. Cut it open. That's great paper to work on. You can use, like I've got some old recycled letters and newspaper. I'm going to show you some other creative ones for backgrounds that I did that I think you guys will find to be pretty neat. Oh, I kind of did maybe too many oranges. Let's actually start rotating these a little bit. Yeah, and like just filling in. Looks like I kind of need another yellow one in there. Right, and I'm just kind of mixing up and creating my tabletop background. You can even too get into like really alternative materials with this. If you've got some like other cool old, materials you could use. I don't know, like oh gosh, you could even do fabric, right? Like old t-shirts or something that's like junk. You could even use old fabric, but again, make sure anything you're like cutting up and piecing together for collage is like an approved material, right? Just don't start like grabbing stuff and being like, yeah, this will work for my collage. My art teacher said cut this up. Yeah, no. Make sure it's okay to cut up. But it's kind of all fair game. Old cardboard. You're gonna see some stuff that I used from packaging in another one I did. Okay, so let's do a few more pieces here, and we'll finish this up. And then I'm just gonna trim my tabletop edge even. Oops, smooch that. Getting all sticky. Sticky. Again, if the sticky bothers you, like, just use something else to smudge the glue. It's kind of a good piece. I like that. See, and this is kind of like, I liked with this envelope how the colors worked together. You know, just like, I like the red, the orange. I was kind of going with like a warm color palette. And so maybe for like drawing on this one, I'll do something with like blues or whatnot. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, maybe one more orange like, or maybe one more orange like here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then maybe another yellow at the bottom, unless we feel like that. See, I feel like I got to do more yellow there because it's like too much orange there. So yeah, let's do a little bit of yellow. We'll kind of connect this. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. All right, just kind of organic comes together. Then the last thing, particularly if you're doing like really collagey stuff like this, you're just going to want to take a little bit of glue on your finger. Take that sticky finger you've been working with, or paper towel or Q-tip or whatnot, and just, you know, any little corners that are like poking up like that. Come on, glue bottle. Hang in there. A little bit of glue, like so. Smudge it down. Okay. Quick rinse of my fingers. Quick dry my fingers. The benefits of working in my kitchen. Okay, let me get this scrappy stuff out of the way. And check it out. That's a pretty cool background to work with. All right, so I got a tabletop. I got my wall. Let's see, do I need to do, oh yeah, I do need to do a little, just gonna even up my edges a little. Like so. Yeah, that looks really cool. I like that. All right, cool. So one background. Let me show you some different ones I've made. Right, keeping it kind of simple. Page out of People magazine for the background. Some leftover construction paper from a craft project I did with Gia. All right, so there's that. Kind of like, again, keeping it more simple. Not doing a lot of collage stuff. This, again, took less than a minute. So, you know, not too time consuming. This is where I got a little funky with some packaging. This is just a piece of junk mail from WMHT, and then I kind of like the orange in it. And I ordered some photos from Shutterfly, and they sent it in this really like bright orange envelope. You can actually see the Shutterfly there, and I just liked the color. So I cut the envelope apart, and I glued this together. So, right, so this is like all out of the recycling. This is like all out of the recycling bin. Let's see, kind of keeping in the same thing. This one, I took, again, part of that same fundraising letter that came from WMHT, right? It's junk mail. I was just gonna put it in the recycling bin anyway. And I took part of the newspaper. Oh, that's the, let's say, I'm a Leo. There I am. Okay, so look at that. There's our horoscopes there. So I just cut part of the newspaper out. And then the other thing I did too is I grabbed a leftover stencil from a craft project I did, and did some stenciling over the letter, and then put down this newspaper ground. And then for this one, right, you can see I really got into this, like creating backgrounds. Like, what can I make with what I've got on hand? With this one, I grabbed some watercolor and did the salt paper, and then just took, again, I think this is the back of a pasta box. We had bow tie pasta for dinner on Thursday. So I cut apart the box and turned that into my ground, right? So you can see the variety of what we can make for our backgrounds. Okay, so that's our focus for this week. I want you to come up with a background that we can then use to compose our still life on. All right. Thank you all for joining me in the art room. Artist friends, keep creating. You know, the weather's starting to get nice, so this is a perfect thing to take your supplies outside onto your backyard, your front porch, etc., and even do some of this art stuff outside. All right, take care all, have a good one, and I look forward to seeing you again in the art room.